We're at day 30 of our December marathon. Only one more video to go after this one, and then today we are giving you our WWE awards. Yesterday we gave you the AEW side of things. Now today we're going over to the WWE side of things, and we're going to switch things up, and yeah, we're going to see how things compare between the two, I suppose. But we're going to kick things off with our first one. That is going to be our non-wrestler of the year. It could be a commentator. It could be pretty much anyone that's just not a wrestler, basically, who showed up in professional wrestling this year. And I went with Corey Graves. Who was your pick?
I stayed in NXT, and that was Vic Joseph. He's one of the guys who I feel like he actually adds a lot. I like his commentary. He has a very some like sneaky remarks that are very funny. Sometimes they kind of go on the radar. But yeah, Vic Joseph is a guy who I consistently really enjoy.
Yeah, Vic Joseph is definitely one of the better commentators in really all of wrestling, not even just NXT or something. He should definitely probably just get to that main roster. But we're going to move on to our Workhorse Award. Now for this one, it's obviously just a person who had a lot of matches, or maybe even not necessarily matches, but just did a lot of work within the WWE realm. And for me, I went with Penta. Who did you go with?
I went with Dominic Mysterio, the guy who is basically the face of Monday Night Raw. Every single week he is there. And yeah, when you talk about improvement, he's somebody who is still doing that, even though even last year he was still at the top of the game.
Yeah, the only difference between Dom and Penta is Dom is winning his matches, and however Penta is likely losing most of his matches. But we're going to go on to the best return/debut, and you already know what that means. And I think we're both likely going to have the same one here. I have AJ Lee.
Yeah, I have the same as well. Yeah, one of the biggest moments this year, the final return of the, we finally got it from AJ Lee, and yeah, huge moment. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was a shocking return. It was something that meant a lot to that women's division. I know people like Bayley and Roxanne Perez, things of that nature, they all really appreciated her work back then and really wanted to see her come back. So when she did, it was a huge moment. Obviously, CM Punk as well, having his wife back on his program with them was amazing, and having that match with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins was some really good stuff. But we're going to go to one of our big awards here, and that's going to be the best match from WWE this year. I went with Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 41.
Yeah, I matched you as well. Yeah, one of the matches that on that show definitely saved it from being one of the worst manias we've ever seen to at least there's something on that show to actually watch back. And yeah, the women stole the show and stole the entire year this year. You'll see that throughout the entire awards, especially in WWE. And yeah, this match is one of the best triple threats of all time.
Alright, and we're going to kick off with the best pay-per-view of the year from WWE. Now, this one I was sort of torn between two. I went with Evolution, but I was kind of debating on putting the last Saturday night's main event where Gunther retired John Cena. All the matches were really good. And then, obviously, the great match with John Cena and Gunther, the moment of him tapping him out, everything surrounding that was just really good stuff. But, once again, I did go with Evolution.
Yeah, again, another one I matched you with. The other one I was stuck up on was Elimination Chamber as well. The Chamber matches are obviously really good, but then you also had, I think, SummerSlam had quite a few good matches. Obviously, there's some duds, but yeah, Evolution stole the show this year. Again, proving the women definitely carried WWE this year.
Yeah, and I would really love to start seeing some more women main events, WWE and AEW, to be fair. But we're going to move on to the best moment of the year. Now, this one, I feel like we're likely going to have the same one once again, but it's going to be the John Cena heel turn.
Yeah, again, another one that we match, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not much to really talk about. Obviously, I feel like this is going to be the one that's on everyone's list. Just the heel turn meant so much to wrestling. It meant so much to John Cena to be like, all right, this is the biggest babyface ever, but he just turned heel. What the hell? Why is Travis Scott there and The Rock, and he just sold his soul? What is happening? Just a lot of kind of WWE nonsense going on surrounding that. But we're going to go to the best rivalry from WWE, where I went with Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, I like that one, but for me, I went with one that started the year, and that was Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it. It felt like the end of it, but we still got pretty much all that we were gonna get. Great match at Royal Rumble, some great promos from Kevin Owens, and some great SmackDown moments that kept that show alive for the little bit of time it was.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate because Kevin Owens was supposed to have that WrestleMania moment with Randy Orton. It ended up being Joe Hendry, of course, but that was definitely the direction they were going. It was definitely a match I was excited for, and you know, Kevin Owens was excited for it too, because not too long before that, he was also in the ring with Shawn Michaels and was able to get the super kick from him, and you know that meant the world from him to see Shawn Michaels tune up the band for him. So yeah, definitely love that pick from you. But we're gonna go to the best story of the year now. Now in WWE, there wasn't really a ton of like captivating stories really, but the one I ended up going with was the Vision story in general. Just Braun Breaker joining the Vision, then turning on them, and then Bronson Reed getting added, Austin Theory being added, Paul Heyman. A lot of kind of moving pieces surrounding the Vision. I really did kind of like everything surrounding it.
Yeah, I think this year the Vision were obviously a very dominant piece overall as well. And most of the segments were pretty good. There's times where things kind of got a little bit boring, I would say, but overall the evolution of Braun Breaker has been great, and to see Bronson Reed become a prominent figure has been cool as well. But for me, I went with John Cena's retirement tour. Obviously, a little bit of a cheap one, but when you talk about something that has kind of made you, at least made me watch through every single time he was on the show, I was there, and yeah, it felt like something that was going to come to an end eventually. We knew it, and yeah, it was a cool moment, and overall would definitely change a few things, but still wouldn't change some as well.
And up next, we have Breakout Star of the Year. I ended up going with Javon Evans, someone who put on a lot of banger matches in NXT, on the main roster, on TNA. Did a lot of work everywhere, and I just really think that he deserved this reward, plain and simple.
Yeah, I also went with Javon, a guy who has kind of taken everything by storm. He's proven that he's going to be the top guy in the future, and I can't wait to see that happen.
And for Best on the Mic award this year, I went with Obafemi, someone who really started tearing people apart randomly. You really didn't see a whole lot of like just great promos from him in general. He would have like these little short ones here and there, like these kind of monster promos that a lot of big men kind of cut. But recently he's been doing more like kind of cutting deep into Ricky Saints, into Ethan Page, Javon Evans, and everyone's been going up against. Has been really good stuff from him. So I really appreciate it because he improved so much on it.
For me, I went with the best in the world, CM Punk. Obviously, this year I don't think he's had any all-time promos, something that we'll see in the history books, but I do think there's still a lot of good moments you can pick from. You have the time with John Cena, obviously, in that feud. Some of the Gunther moments were really good as well in that build, and obviously a lot of the Seth, the Braun Breaker, the Vision, everything in between that, and then also the very start of the year with Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, and that build up to WrestleMania had some very good promos as well.
And we're going to another big one. That was going to be the best in-ring wrestler of 2025 in WWE. For me, I went with Io Sky. What do you got?
Yeah, also with Io Sky, when you have two Match of the Year candidates, it's going to put you on this contender list, and she's the one that just obviously stuck out every single match, has been consistently amazing, and yeah, when you watch her, it's never going to be boring. It's always something cool that's going to happen in her matches.
Yeah, I mean, people only talk about the two matches, obviously being the triple threat at WrestleMania and the Evolution match. However, that is also that WrestlePalooza match with Stephanie Vaquer. That was also amazing. And there's a ton in between, like the matches previous to WrestleMania with Rhea Ripley. But yeah, there was a lot of good stuff from Io Sky, and I feel like that was a pretty easy choice to make there. Now, for our best tag team of the year, I went with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Just their work reviving the women's tag team division, putting it up there on main event status, main event in Raws and SmackDowns, things of that nature. I feel like they just elevated that division to another degree that it hasn't really reached before.
Yeah, I definitely like that pick. They definitely deserve their flowers. However, I went with Fraxium. Then they started this year out in NXT. Some great matches on every single NXT pay-per-view. And then when they got to the main roster, kind of slowed down a little bit, but they still had a lot of bangers. The SummerSlam match this year was amazing. And yeah, I wish they got a little bit more screen time, but I think we'll see more of that hopefully next year.
And we're going to our male wrestler of the year, and someone familiar is back on my list, and that is Javon Evans.
Yeah, for me, I kind of went with one that I kind of struggled with. I feel like this year, like I said, the men kind of lagged this year, but I ended up going with John Cena. He's a guy who I cared about probably the most this year throughout every single time. Like I said, on the show, I was always there to watch him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, John Cena, he's one of the greatest of all time, had one of the most just best stories in general. Obviously, after the heel turn was over and he went back to babyface, but leading into that Gunther match with all the stuff with Dom and then the Cena tournament and leading into that final retirement match was definitely really good stuff. But our last reward from the WWE side of things here, we have our female wrestler of the year, and I feel like we're gonna have the same one once again because it's Io Sky.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when you have two matches of the year, it says a lot about you. Somebody who has been at the top of the game all year as well. And yeah, she's just had a very dominant year in a division that's so stacked, and she's still at the top every single week.
Yeah, someone who's improved her English so much to the point where she's speaking English promos and doing really good stuff there. Being able to go bilingual, going from English to Japanese mid-sentence and stuff is something I really like, and I think it's really funny. But yeah, Io Sky is one of the best in the world, not just in WWE, but in the world. So yeah, that is our WWE Awards. We appreciate you guys for watching. And yeah, that's WWE in 2025.